So Roxy's trying to decide if she had been that dog in the last chapter, would she have taken the excitement of going with Swift, or would you have just stayed with Dad? What do you what do you think? I think she would have stayed with Dad too, just like that other dog did. But you never know. You know, sometimes dogs do join packs of coyotes or wolves. So you never know what might have happened. The next chapter is called Food. The thought of the man and his lightning stick haunts me as I run. Even the raven's company is little comfort. Dread and bitter memories push me onward. My feet fall into a rhythm, but the memory of the almost wolf won't let me go. I stop, I look back. She could have jumped that fence, could have come when I called her, but she let the man pup touch her. She lives surrounded by the man smell. Maybe she learned their ways like the bachelor wolves learned the ways of the coyote. I'm better off on my own, but I want her company just the same. In worrying over her, I miss my chance at getting a rabbit. My raven scolds me as she swoops circles around my head. I snarl at her even though I know she's right. When you only eat little things, you have to catch something every day. I keep up my pace, but sharpen my eyes so I won't miss the next meal. The land is drier now, not a tree in sight, and all I can smell is dust and cow pats. The slack skin over my belly reminds me how long it's been since I ate deer and elk. Come sundown, my raven finds a roost, but I keep looking for food. Nothing comes by, not raccoons, not foxes, not even mice. I flop down beside the shrub where my raven is roosting and try to ignore my growling stomach. In the morning, I wait for my raven to scout for a meal. She flies in a broad circle and comes back. Nothing to report. She takes off again. I wait. A fat, juicy beetle waddles by right under my nose. I am never going to eat bugs again. I stand up and stretch. I search the sky for my raven. The heat of the day comes up, and I am in the only shade I can see. I stay, and my hunger grows with the rising heat. The only living things I see are geese overhead, and even they, with all their empty-headed honking, know better than to land here. The shadows grow long before the raven is back. She comes flying low and straight to me. She's glad of something. She circles me twice, lands at my feet, and bobs her head just to me. Must be food. Food that she can't open if she came all this way back for me. I take off at a run, and she leads the way. Hunger nibbles away at my speed. My raven circles back twice for me to catch up. But then, when the sun goes down, she finds a shrub, and she puts her head under her wings as if the dark makes a difference. Who cares that the moon is gone? There's starlight, and nothing but dirt and cowpats to worry about on this flat ground. I growl at my raven. She puffs up her feathers and claws in protest. Fine. I will find the meat she was taking me to on my own. There are no circling vultures in the sky to show me where the meat is. My stomach is groaning. I lift up my head and complain to the stars. Nobody hears me. I go back to my raven and lie down under her roost, and even in my dreams, I am hungry. My raven and I are up and running at first light. Dry ground rolls by under my paws. I watch my raven flying ahead, as hungry as me. The pain in my shoulder is gone, and only the pain of hunger drives me on. The ground begins to rise, and above me I can hear and smell the Black River before I see it. I woof a warning to the raven, but there is no caution. She circles back and urges me on. I go more slowly now, looking, listening for men, breathing in the foul air that hangs in a cloud over the Black River. But the raven is still urging me on. I follow her along the bank, even as the noisemakers whoosh by. There's a dead deer on the shore of the Black River. My raven lands on the hide, hopping for joy. It is a full-grown buck with meat enough to feed a pack. The hunger I felt for days and days, ever since I ran from the mountains, roars up in me, and I am wild with it. I forget my sorrows, my loneliness, everything. I sink my teeth into the hide. I open the belly. There is no one to snatch the best bits out of my mouth. No one to make me watch while they eat all the richest meat. I take the whole liver and all the heart, feeling stronger with every bite. I strip skin and gulp muscle. Red runs down my chin. My belly fills under my skin. My belly fills until my skin is stretched tight, and there's still meat left. It smells so good, I want to roll in it. I am full and keep eating. The sun goes down, and I still eat more. And finally, at last, when my hunger is gone, and my fear of hunger is gone with it, I look up. Only then do I see my raven eating beside me, and hear the noisemaker still rushing by. Only then do I remember that my home is downstream on the far side of this black river. Only then do I take a good look at the deer I've been eating. It is a full-grown buck with many prongs on its antlers. I always save the bones and their rich, savory centers for last. As I nose among the bones, I see that something is very wrong. Every rib is broken. Not one cracked bone, as it happens in a fall. All the bones are shattered, as if a huge boulder fell on the deer. And there is no boulder beside the body and no cliff for one to fall from. This is like a blow like nothing I've ever seen. Even the largest bear could not crush a deer like this. Curious now, I paw through the skin, looking for tooth marks of the creature that killed this deer. Is there some new animal, something bigger and more dangerous than anything I know? I must learn all I can about. Any thoughts? So what do you think killed the deer by the Black River? I find no puncture in the usual spot on the neck, nothing in the back of the head like a cougar strike, no bite mark around the lower leg like coyotes make, but in the skin of the belly there are chips of ice. This ice is warm to the touch and sharper than a bobcat's claw. There are a few more pieces of not ice on the ground and even more on the bank. So any thoughts on what that would be? I have been ignoring the sound and stench of the Black River, but now I watch as a noisemaker goes by. It shakes the ground as it comes. It's so fast it makes a breeze in the still night air. I look at my raven and back at the trail of not ice. My raven bows her head to me as if to confirm what I fear. A noisemaker did this, crushed this deer in mid-gallop and kept going without stopping to eat or giving a nod of thanks to the life that sustains all who run on four paws. Mother was right. There is no understanding men. I shudder at the thought that I would ever set foot on the Black River. I will never cross it again. My mountains are somewhere on the far shore, but I will never go home. I lift my head and call out to my lost family. I know they cannot hear me. Maybe none of them are left. Still, I call to them. I'm here. I survived. No one answers. I drop my head, weary with sorrow. The raven leads me away from the Black River. I stumble after her to a cluster of birches and drop to the ground against their pale, smooth trunks. The raven speaks to me in a soft voice, but before I can work out what she said, I lay down my head and dream of the mountains. Wow, that's the total end of this chapter. The next chapter is called Fear. I wonder what that will be about. So take out your Google Doc and fill out your amazing summary along with questions, predictions, thoughts.